Yes, so ma'am, there is a lot of love, veneration, and respect, coming up from the, chat. So how do you feel to
Yes,
be
I
here?
can see that. It is so good to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I think it's always particularly nice to interact with the youth. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. I mean, I don't want to stand on a pedestal and give gyan, as they say, but I would love
Oh,
to
no.
interact with all of you.
Yes, ma'am. So are we, and we would, definitely love to interact with all of that. Ma'am, before we, start this amazing conversation with you, I mean,
Yeah.
I just wanted to like ask basically, I mean, how is the COVID going on, on your end? Because there is a ear-shattering
Oh,
situation.
well, it has been quite a blow to the film industry, goes without saying, because, everything that we had anticipated, everything that we had expected will happen this year has not happened. And last year we thought it's very tough, but it seems that this year has been actually even tougher. So we just have to be resilient. We just have to be patient, and we have to do our thing. I mean, wait for better times and prepare. And of course, those of us who are shooting right now, I think there is a very high risk, especially for actors, because we don't mask up. But yeah, everybody's doing it with some faith that yes, we want to create good things and we have to go out there and work. So we'll work it out somehow. We'll make it happen.
Yes. Wow,
So
what a
let's see.
beautiful answer, ma'am. Really.
Just keeping our fingers crossed. I mean, it's never easy, but hats off to the people who are trying to facilitate shoots at this point of time. People really come forward to help,
Yes.
and I think even productions have taken it upon themselves to look after the entire cast and crew, because it has become very difficult now. I mean, to be responsible for 150 people and their health during the course of an entire shoot is no small feat.
Yes, ma'am. It's not a small feat, of course. Yeah. I mean, managing all of those, and I mean, such a beautiful
Of
answer
course.
given by you. Being resilient. Yeah, it's really important because I
Yeah,
mean,
it
just
is.
getting
In
adapted to
life,
the
it is.
situation. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. Yeah, that was really, I mean, such a fantastic start. And guys, I request all of you to, put all the questions, queries, love, respect, everything, in the comment section, which would definitely
Yes, you can.
motivate all of us to move further. And let's make it more interactive. Yeah. And ma'am,
Yes, please.
before I begin this amazing conversation with you, I just
Yeah.
wanted to know, like, how did you develop, this keen interest and inclination, towards getting into acting and all other professions, I mean, you're into, like so many,
See,
like chef.
profession is just one. Profession is just, I'm just an actor. But yes, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy doing other things. But actually, the only thing that I do is acting. Unlike a lot of other actors, who are part of various kinds of business, who are, into so many things, into theater as well. But I think my focus has always been cinema. And going back to the first part of your question about how I started, I think I always loved cinema since I was a little girl. I was fascinated with the medium, and the love has only grown over time, as I have discovered how amazing cinema is across the world. And I think also luck and life has played a role in it. I think
Yes.
about 20 years back, I had no idea that I will end up being an actor and will be working with so many amazing people and doing so many interesting films, so many different kinds of films in different languages, very different styles, very different genres. But it has turned out this way. So I have the Lord to thank. And of course, I have, everybody's good wishes and support and encouragement, because without that, I don't think an actor can really do anything.
Yes, correct, ma'am. I mean, well said, because life is highly unpredictable and we don't know what is going to happen at what time. So, yeah, we just end up landing on something which you actually destined yourself to put into. So, it's also
Yes,
important for
yes.
us to have, all the foresightedness and
And
all
it's
of that.
also
And
important
yeah, I
that
mean, the love,
when
yes.
opportunity presents itself, you grab that opportunity. You you respond to what is occurring in your life. I think that just leads you from one thing to the other. You have to be present, you have to be prepared, and you have to value the opportunities that come your way. I think that is very important.
It's really important, ma'am. I mean, when opportunities come, you just have to grab it because they just come very rarely. So it's really important for all of us to get hold on the opportunities. And it is also said that if you don't get opportunities, just build one and then, go forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And yeah. Ma'am, talking a little bit about yourself. I mean,
Yes.
like because you're into acting and also, I mean, a chef, like ambassador,
I'm not a chef
you
at
have.
all. I mean, people just, the film industry just jokes that I cook well. And there was this one film set on which I was cooking, but I'm not a, I know how to make only 10 things, but those 10 things I make quite
Okay.
well. I think it's just that. So it's
Okay.
just a joke that, if she's on set, we'll get good food. So, but there's not much truth in it. There are only those 10 dishes that I can make and I can, make my colleagues happy.
Okay. So, ma'am, that's the reason. Okay, yeah. So,
I'm sorry, I lost you. Yeah.
yes, ma'am. So I was just saying that that is the reason maybe you're clandestine chef, a little in
I'm a
secrecy,
candidate. I am
so not
quite well.
everybody.
I try not to flaunt it, but you know how it is on a set. No, I mean there's so many people there. So if you are cooking, like say for a bunch of 4 or 5 people, then everybody comes to know, and then they're like, "Hey, Kavli, when are you cooking for us?" So I think that is what has happened, and I've earned the reputation of being a good chef, but that is actually not true. I mean, I can,
Uh,
like I said, just make like half a dozen things. Yeah.
that's amazing. I mean, that's really relatable, when you go onto the sets and have that amicable relation.
It is
Yeah.
nice. Also, we are on set for such a long time at a stretch, sometimes 20 days, 30 days, 40 days. And you get fed up of the the food, the production food, as we call it. I mean, even if it is very fancy, but you kind of crave ghar ka khana, home food.
Ghar ka khana,
So I
yeah.
think that's when, yeah, so that's when I come handy, then I just cook for everyone. And it's fun. It's food is a great way to bond, isn't it? So
Yes,
I think
yes, ma'am. I mean, it's a
especially
very
I cooked a lot on the sets of Angrezi Mein Kehte Hain because Sanjay Mishra loves food, Pankaj Tripathi loves food, Anshuman Jha loves food. So and the girl who played my daughter Shivani. So it was nice to just pamper
great,
them a
ma'am.
bit.
Yeah, ma'am, before you got into this profession, I mean, just taking you back to your nostalgic childhood reminiscences, I mean, how were you as a
Yes.
child? I mean, you were already into acting, or like, was it something you just ended up getting into it?
I think I was pretty lost. I was in my own world. But yes, the arts is something that I enjoyed. I liked to dance. I liked to watch people dancing. I liked listening to music. I of course loved acting in plays. Every play that used to happen in school, I think I used to be part of it. And in Calcutta, I'm from Calcutta, if you know. So there is this cultural environment. So, where we constantly have lots of shows and lots of programs and dance recitals and music recitals. So I have attended many. I have been a part of many. It came very naturally. I think it's just
Amazing.
and it's a
As it's
calling,
there to
right?
you.
I mean, everybody kind of knows what they really want to do. Some people are
Mhm.
privileged; they're able to do it. I think I consider myself very fortunate. It is, I mean, the Lord's blessing that I am able to, you know, do what I love. I mean, I started late. It took me a while to figure this, but I think I am one of those people. I take time to figure everything, but when I do, then it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you have converted your passion into profession, which is really amazing. I mean,
It
it doesn't
happened,
feel so
it
overwhelming.
happened. I mean, it's not that I was consciously doing things. I did it because it was satisfying. It was something that inspired me. I mean, when I started off, I started pretty much by default. And like I said, if you take an opportunity seriously, if you value what is given to you,
Mhm.
you grow and people help you grow. So that is what has happened. I'm not a trained actor.
Correct.
I haven't been to an NSD or, to any great acting institute in the United States or in England for that matter. But I have learned along the way because I think so many people have contributed to my learning. So that will has to be there. And of course, luck also plays a
Where
part.
there's a will,
I
there's a
can't
way.
deny that.
Correct. Yes.
Usually, yes.
So it's us, I mean, it depends on us, to give the consent that, okay, we have to do it. Because in the initial
Yeah,
stage, I mean, taking the a step, like the first step is really, really important because all of the failures, I mean, even all of these would act as stepping stones to your success. So it's really important, even if we
true.
fail, I think we just have to keep going on because I think that is the reason
And
you're
at
in
some
such
point,
a
you
great
could
position.
fail at a few things. Sometimes maybe you could not be your best. You have to accept all this. I mean, it's a process. It's not, that you've just reached there and now everything is going to be perfect. Life is not like that. But you grow with every opportunity. You grow with every experience and you learn. So it's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, all the failures and all the successes, all of
Oh,
this
yes.
add as,
Failures,
yeah, to a better
rejection. I think as actors, what we really need to
criticism.
prepare for is criticism. You're just as good as your last film. I mean, you could have done the best work, but if the last film hasn't worked, or you have not created, that much of an impression, you have not been able to deliver what people expected from you, or you had it. I mean, it's not so simple. So, but then it's all a process, as I said, and you tend to learn, how to kind of deal with all this.
Right.
It's part of
Yes, I
part
mean,
of the profession. It's part of the growth.
yes, yeah, yes. So, ma'am, there are so many comments coming up in the
Yes,
chat. They're
please.
saying
I
like,
I'm not very tech savvy. I mean, people
yeah, yeah,
know that about me as
no,
well.
no issues,
So
ma'am. I
I
will read
actually
out
have not
some
been
of
able
the
to.
text.
Yes, you will have to because I will not be able to keep up.
Sure, sure. No issues, ma'am. So I'm here for that. It's okay. Okay, so
Yes, yes.
Mahi is saying, ma'am, you're saying everything absolutely right.
Thank you,
That's why I'm
Mahi. I'm
loving
glad you
fans of
agree.
you. And
I'm glad.
like there's yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in, and lot of love emojis, respect and reverence coming and oozing
Yes,
out of
yes.
comment section.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic, guys. Keep up the same energy in the chat box, for a little while, and I assure, all of you will have such a insightful conversation today on the topic. And ma'am, I just wanted to ask, like, how conducive has your parents, been in molding you and shaping you and bringing you to this position? Like, how did they help you actually?
So actually, I lost my mom when I was born. So I was raised by my father, and I think he has been the greatest influence. He introduced me to the finer things in life. Whether it was cinema, whether it was fine arts, whether it was Indian classical music, whether it was Western classical music, whether it was Urdu sher shairi, poetry, literature, everything. It was my dad who initiated me into it. So it all starts from there. It's those seeds I think that he planted, which have kind of blossomed into everything that I
Germany.
am trying to pursue. I don't know how good I am, but at least I'm trying to do. So I owe a lot to my father, of course. And as a family, I think we are a literary family, and people who like to read and are into the arts. So it was not very difficult to, develop those skills or whatever you
Skills.
call them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really fantastic. I mean, not
But my
everybody
father
gets the chance.
introduced me to a lot of cinema, a lot of good cinema from the West, a lot of good regional cinema. Like, now it's very common for us to watch Malayalam cinema or Telugu cinema or to watch a Marathi film. It's so easily available and accessible. But when I was a child, it was not. We used to just, there used to be a regional film that used to be shown every Sunday on Doordarshan. And my dad used to insist that I watch it because all those films were National Award winning films. So, and they are masterpieces. So I think even though at that age, I mean, at probably 10, 11, I barely must have understood anything. I don't even remember
Yeah,
really enjoying a film thoroughly, but I'm sure that it must have made some sort of impression. It must have
yes,
definitely had, there
in
must
the
be some residue
subconscious
of
mind.
that, which has kind of, developed into my love for cinema across mediums and across languages. Like I've worked
Yes,
with very commercial directors. I've worked with what they call art house thinking directors. So I'm working with all sorts of people, and I think that somewhere the fact that I was exposed to all kinds of cinema has has made me more confident about dealing with various kind of filmmakers and their
amazing, ma'am.
storytelling techniques.
Yes. Yeah, because you were already into such a conducive ambience, the exposure,
I
experience, and
have watched
expertise has
different kinds
given
of
you a
films,
lot.
So I mean, if you
Yeah.
do something, if you experiment, your mind also opens up. You're
Mm.
not stuck with just one kind of work. It's like food. you have Indian, you have Mexican, you have Pakistani, you have Thai, you have everything. So and then you can choose that, yes, okay, Indian is my favorite food, or I like Mexican food, or maybe I don't like a certain kind of food. You figure that after you have tried. I mean, जब तक खाओगे नहीं पता कैसे चलेगा.
Yes, we have to experience it. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is, a lot of love coming from India, London,
Thank you.
Kuwait. I was reading
Thank
the
you.
comment
Thank
section.
you. That is so
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone,
Ma'am,
all
could
of
you,
you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
ma'am, there was Mahi Bani, who literally wrote a big paragraph for you. So he was
It's
asking a
my,
shout
you
out
should,
emoji.
Yes, please. I am
Yeah,
sorry. Could you just repeat
sure,
the question, or you could send it to me on DM, and I will respond in, like,
sure.
yeah. What is
I have taken the
what are they
screenshot,
saying?
ma'am. So
Okay, okay, okay.
yes, amazing. And shout out to all the people who joined us here, on this live session. We really, really acknowledge your presence, and yeah, ma'am is really loving it. Yeah,
I'm
amazing.
enjoying it. Thank you. Yes. So if you're
Yeah,
okay, I'm going to
and
have a
also
sip of my
Bangladesh.
coffee. Is that all right? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sure, ma'am. No
I should
issues.
I should have asked
No
you to get
issues.
yours too.
Oh, okay. You should have done that. Yeah, no problem, ma'am. Have it. Yeah.
Anyway, tell
So,
me.
ma'am,
Yes.
yes, ma'am, I just wanted to get inclined towards little into the topic. So, the redefining of
Hi.
the success.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what were your initial stages of adversities, hurdles, and hindrances, and like how did you break your barriers and redefine your success?
Uh, I was not so conscious when I was probably doing these things. I was not.
Mhm.
I was not focusing on the fact that I was breaking barriers, or I was trying to redefine success, or I was trying to do great things. I was just doing what I was expected to do. You have to understand that for me also this is just work. This is bread and butter. So when you get an opportunity, you don't want to lose it. Also because I live in Calcutta, there is this pressure that Bombay is full of great actors. It's a fact, very good looking people, great actors, and you want to make a mark despite not being in that space. It's not so simple. So I think what I did right was I took every opportunity very seriously. Like if I got an audition, earlier there used to be fewer auditions. It's now over a period of time, that I get more auditions. Sometimes I just get a narration. I don't need to give an audition. I mean, things have changed. But initially, I used to get few auditions. But the ones that I used to get, I used to like really go all out and put my heart into it, like research it. And yeah, some of them did not work out. But, I think that helped me a lot because I understood what works. I mean, what are the auditions that are accepted? What doesn't work? And as I worked on all these auditions, because when you start, you don't have the projects in hand. It's a kind of practice. You are honing your skills. So, because, in a certain amount of time, one particular scene, you have to create an impact. That is tougher. You have an entire
Right.
film, okay, fine, maybe one or two scenes, one or two moments in the film, you are not your finest. You should be, but maybe you are not. But if in an audition, it's
First
just one
impression.
scene, maybe two, and you just have to create an impact. You just have to, they have to choose you. You have to focus on that. So I think that is something that I mean, I still haven't figured. It's not that I get every audition that I do. It's not that it's become much easier. In fact, in some ways, it has become even more difficult because people have higher expectations from me now. When you
Mhm.
start off, people don't expect that much from you. But however, I have realized that doing those auditions and not thinking too much about, other things, like how much money I will make or how will I go about it, and or working too much on PR or working too much on trying to network. I never did all that. I won't say that it works for everybody, but somehow for me it has worked. So there is a chance that it also has a lot to do with my destiny. I mean, it's just the Lord's blessing. I was living here in Calcutta. I was to get this audition. I would do it and send it. And it has happened a number of times that I have. I mean, my CV has proved that I have done some very good films, and it's all have been through an audition. And of course, I have to be very grateful to the casting directors because, it's their imagination. Finally, if they don't imagine you in a role, there's nothing you can do. No matter how
Correct.
skilled you are, no matter how hard you
Yes.
work, they have to give you that opportunity. And the fact that the casting directors think so much about, wanting to cast newer faces. At least they try. See, they are still people, they are still filmmakers, they are still production houses. It has happened with me so many times where, though people are happy with my audition, they might go for a more famous person or they might go for someone who has been a heroine, what they call in the past.
Yes.
So
More
that is
recognition.
their choice. That is not something that I can control. But the
Mhm.
fact that the casting directors make this effort to give me a fair platform, I think I have to honor that. I have to do my best and, send a substantial audition. So there are two
Amazing.
advantages. Even if you don't get a particular part, you still create an impression and people might call you for something else. So
Yeah,
especially in the initial stages, I think don't miss a single opportunity. I mean, that would be my advice to everyone. I
yes,
mean,
amazing.
करोगे नहीं करोगे वो बात की बात है, but you must
Do it
audition
and leave
जरूर
it
भेजना
aside.
चाहिए. Do
Yes,
it,
yes. I
do
mean,
it,
yes,
and I
yeah.
think that's
Otherwise, if
important.
you, yes, ma'am, exactly. I mean, if you perform well, yeah, you will be going further. But then even if you fail, you'll
Yeah.
be learning something from the experience,
And
which will,
I mean, it's
further
easier
add.
said than done, but you can't, like take everything to heart. There will be
Mhm.
rejection. This line of work is such. You can be rejected for anything. Like, I have lost a film once because I was taller uh, than the male actor. Like, you both will look
Oh my
almost the same height. So they went for somebody who's strong. So can I control that? No. But I
God.
did do a decent audition and I got appreciation for it. And maybe I didn't do that film, but who knows? That performance in that audition may have led me to many other auditions which I may have got. So you can't, keep feeling bad about things that don't work. There are things that often don't work in this industry and in this scheme of things because there's one character and there are 50 auditions or 25 auditions. Even if there are 10 auditions, there's only a 10% chance that you will get it right. So
Yes,
it's
correct.
you have to be prepared mentally. And I think I was able to do that even when I was younger, when I started off. This strength I had. Like I mean, I used to get disappointed, but I used to bounce back very fast.
Yes,
And it's
absolutely.
still like that. I still get disappointed. I mean, I think that hunger has to be there. So
Yes, yeah,
sometimes
that
things
hunger
don't work
is
out. Like I recently lost a film because I don't I took Covaxine and Europe is not accepting Covaxine. I was told at that time, and because of which there were three of us, three actors who could not do the films, despite the fact that we were the first choice, because we had not taken a vaccine that is acceptable in Europe. We were not allowed entry, so we didn't get the part. So I mean, there could be so many different factors because of which you miss something, but you should focus on what you're getting. I think that will see you through in this industry to an
yes,
extent.
exactly, ma'am.
And of course,
Yeah,
Naseeb, as they
extracting the
say, is also a big thing.
yes. Yes, ma'am. I mean, extracting the essence of what you told, I mean, and connecting back to the topic, redefining your success and breaking all the barriers. I think it's really important for us to have the hunger to learn something because if you don't have that hunger, you'll end up landing nowhere. So I think if that hunger, of learning something will definitely take you and put in a position and you just get the opportunities and it's like nature sort of guiding you everywhere and then just giving you the opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And that's
also,
like,
everybody has their own way of handling things.
yes.
Of course, I chase my dreams, but I also live my life. Like I live in Calcutta, I don't live in Bombay. It's a choice I made, and there are other things also that I do. I don't work like 300 days a year, which a lot of actors do. Because we are like daily wages, as I keep saying. We don't have a salary. So, but however, I've realized that for me, it's important to live a fuller life. So it's not
Mhm.
just about going to set. It's not just about doing new projects. It's more than
Correct.
that.
Yeah, it's more than that, of course. Yeah, it should be so satisfying and soothing, when we do it. Yeah. And ma'am, I
Yeah.
just wanted to take a question, from the comment section. So guys, you can
Yes,
feel
please.
free to put forth your questions. So there was a question like, okay, as a practitioner of art, what is your suggestion to utilize the lockdown in a productive way by the children? So how art can help them in this regard? So I think it's like how to
Best
utilize
time.
the
This is the best time. I think
lockdown.
the kids these days have this huge advantage of internet. So one thing I think people can do is, I mean, parents can do or should do is, uh, they should introduce finer things to them on the internet because they are going to be on that tab in any case. Yes, but instead of maybe just watching a cartoon or just watching something random, something that they see all the time, you could introduce them to something like maybe Kalari Petru or any kind of like chow dancing, just to see. They don't have to do it, but I think what they see is going to create an impression on their mind. And I mean, they say no, the children are like wet cement. Whatever falls on them makes an
Yeah,
impression. I
yes.
think there's a lot of truth in that. So this time, children are spending a lot of time on their laptops and on their iPads. So they should be encouraged to, okay, they will watch YouTube, but you can control that. I mean, if not control it, at least encourage them to watch things which are which are related to culture, which are related to different places, different cultures. I mean, there's so much that can be done. And of
Yes,
course,
there's so
this is
much.
a good time to even pick up something, like I think an instrument is a great thing. I know so many of my friends who have, just started playing an
Into
instrument
music.
in this
Yes.
lockdown. I mean, I haven't done it, so I shouldn't be preaching, but yes, it is. I mean, people who have any musical inclination, I think this lockdown is a good time to, because actually, especially freelancers, youngsters, they do have a lot of time.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
And too
yeah. I
much
mean,
of
it's well
screen time is
suited.
also bad. I mean, it affects your mind. It makes it super active. You don't sleep well, and so many things. And I
Yeah.
also think it's a great time to lose weight. Everybody who wants to lose weight, lockdown is a good
Yes.
time.
Of
You
course.
can do
Yeah.
you can dance, you can, do yoga. It's so many things you can do. So
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am. I mean, it's really a
it's about
yes,
making
ma'am.
time. I mean, there are people in this world who make time for so many things, and I'm very inspired by them. So I think, yeah, that is most essential.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yeah, making out time to do something productive in your life
Yeah,
will
it's
definitely
a
upskill
choice.
you
It's
to
a choice
in
you
your
make, and
further.
then you stick to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm preaching all this. Am I really doing it myself? Is something I should review. But okay, I will. I do feel inspired to do new things. Yes.
Mhm. Yes, I mean, as you said, yeah, this is really such a great period of time to further explore and expand ourselves into different domains possible,
Yeah,
and then do something fruitful and productive in your life. Not wasting a lot
of
of time
course. I
because
mean, of course.
I think
I
you're
mean,
never.
I think the youth has their online classes and all that is happening. So it's not easy. In fact, it is more complex now. But I have realized that if you want, you can take out time for things
Yes.
which will improve the quality of your life. It's about making a choice.
Yes, I mean it's ultimately our intention, to extract some time out of our schedule. It's really a cliche when the people say that, in the lockdown I'm becoming more obese, but then it's the right time to actually do a lot of exercise and get yourself,
ये
thin or
यही
in a
टाइम
good
है
shape.
अभी नहीं होगा तो कभी नहीं होगा I'm telling you
Yes,
it has to be done
yeah,
now yeah
yeah, कभी तो करना पड़ेगा. Yeah, exactly.
हाँ
So this
कभी
is
तो
the
कर
right time for that.
yeah like in fact
Yes.
last year I remember I had put on weight because I was having some medicines for an allergy and that was reacting and everything and now this year suddenly I think it is so nice to just go back to dancing and go back to yoga and it feels really good. I mean I still have a long way
Yes,
to go.
exactly. So guys, I mean, all the insightful conversation, I mean, which is happening and the, way how ma'am is like so spontaneous with her answers, which is also related to the topic is really inspiring all of us here in the comment section and everybody who joined us in the live. And I hope
I
this will
just can't
definitely,
keep up with the
bring
comments.
no issues, ma'am. Yeah, there's still a lot
Yeah.
of, heart emojis, love emojis. Yeah,
Yes, I can see
amazing
them
to
just
see.
popping one after the other. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, yeah, it's popping out. Yeah. Ma'am, because you are also, an actress yourself. So I just wanted to ask because, there are so many people who feel inferior, about their way of like how they look, because they feel like, okay, I'm a little dark. I have scars on my face. So they have, I mean, all the negative implications which they think inside. So is it really
Yeah.
important to be like so perfect, into getting into acting or like, is it
Who
just
is
our preconceived
perfect
notion?
and what is the definition of perfection? And I
Yes.
think we have such stalwarts who look blazing, I think, on screen. And they were not conventionally good looking. Om Puri Sahab, who was my father's friend. Om Puri is a legend of legends in this country, the finest actor. He was not conventionally handsome in any way. But when Uncle Om was on screen, I don't think anybody looked at any other actor. Like in Hindi, we say कि वो हर scene के मालिक. He was like, he owned every single scene that he was in. So looks are something which are, you know, I mean, it's how you carry yourself. It's how comfortable you are in your skin. I mean, what can and who can define beauty? I mean, there's beauty in everyone, actually,
Yes,
isn't it?
some people are asking what is the secret behind your beauty? I mean, like how do you
I don't know.
maintain? I mean, your health and all of that.
Okay. See, one, I think I don't do much. That is something which has worked for me, for sure. Like, I haven't done crazy things to my hair. I haven't like colored them, straightened them, permed them, and a dozen other things. I haven't done all that. I haven't done anything to my face. So I follow very basic, very basic beauty regime. I use a lot of Ayurvedic products because I just like, the smell and texture of everything that is natural.
Organic.
Yes, if it's organic, I'm happy. That's how it works. And yeah, so I think just about that. And yes, I don't smoke and drink. I think that is something which has contributed to my skin being pretty much the same over the years. And the hair is also. I use regular standard coconut oil and shampoo and yeah, so
Ma'am,
nothing.
would you like to give any, yeah, ma'am, would you like to give any tips, to enhance your beauty or, to sustain the way it is? Like
So
any
I will
tips,
just share something with you that I do, which I mean, if you know what Trifala churran is, what is Trifala?
yes, yeah, ma'am, I know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
triple achurn, yeah.
So
Yes.
people eat Trifala because it's supposed to clean your system. So I just mix Trifala and rose water and I apply it on my face and I wash it off once a week. So that is something I think I've been doing for 20 years.
Wow.
And that's a good thing,
That's
yeah. And it's easily available, it's cheap, it's natural, it has no chemicals. So it's a good thing. And another very important thing is I think what you eat has a lot to do with, how you look. If you just
yes.
constantly are, I mean, I eat everything. I love food. I love junk food. I mean, burgers are my favorite food, so you can imagine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I think you have to learn to compensate. So try and make things at home. That also definitely improves your health, and
Yes.
beauty is connected to your health. If you're clean and good inside, you will look your best.
Yeah.
And
So,
as
I
for
mean, instead of,
scars and marks, I mean, I don't think that is something that should get into the way of your feeling confident because
right.
that can't be confined to whether you have a scar on your face or not. There's so much more that you can offer as a person. So it's your
Yes,
energy, and
exactly.
I mean, there's so many examples I can give you. Like for me,
Yes,
I
I mean,
think,
nobody is
as I
perfect.
said, Om Puri Saab, I think he's just so amazing. I could just keep looking at him all the time. And he was not considered, conventionally good looking, but he was better looking than so many good looking people. So that
Oh,
came
yeah,
from
amazing.
his craft, his knowledge of the craft, his screen presence. So all that is not centric to just your features and complexion and all that. And please, I mean, for God's sake, I think now we've reached a point, especially in India, South Asian countries for that matter, we have to get over this complexion bias that we have.
Yeah, yeah,
It's very
exactly.
unfortunate that, I mean, I don't know whether it is the colonial past or what it is, but it is so unfortunate that people have these kind of biases. I have gone through it myself on many occasions because by North Indian standards, I am dusky. But I think it's great that I have this skin tone, and this is who I am. So I mean, there is no question of trying to change it or any such thing.
Yes, exactly. I mean, ma'am, you
Yeah.
really pointed out a very important point that,
Yes,
having
and it
scars or
depends
any,
on families, it depends on families. How the
yes,
families
background.
condition the child has a very big role to play in this. People around you, the people who love you. Like, I mean, in India, I think मजाक मजाक में लोग कह देते हैं कि, अरे ये काली है, ये गोरी. I mean, it's just not right. You don't say these things. You don't. So it
We
has an
can't
impact on
pinpoint people, yeah.
children. Yeah, it's terrible, and we need
Right.
to get over this now. I think we've done that enough. And it is sad that in our country, so many things are determined by how fair a person is, or
Yes,
so.
I
But
think
it's okay.
those are not the,
Yeah, I mean, I
yes,
think
ma'am,
one of the biggest examples have been ads. It is now that things are changing, and I feel so thankful because some of these ad filmmakers have really changed everything. But earlier, I think even 5 years ago, every single ad had a fair looking man, a fair looking woman, and a fair looking child
yes.
who was not a
Yeah,
representative, who did not in any way really represent the real India. Because in India, most people are dusky. But that is now changing. I mean, if you've noticed, I think the new ad filmmakers have taken it upon themselves also. The new agencies have started thinking differently. So there is a positive change there, definitely.
Exactly, ma'am. And talking a little bit about, ma'am, inferiority complex, I think, as you rightly pointed out, I mean, having scars or anything on the face shouldn't be a barrier for you to represent yourself in the society. So that won't add
Yeah.
anything, into your self-confidence. Yeah. So
No, and if
as,
you're good at what you do, people don't care. I mean, I mean, it is easier said than done. We all have our share of complexes. I mean, at
yes.
one point, I'm sure even I had, things I was concerned with. I still sometimes very concerned about the fact that I'm not a size zero. But I've realized that that's not important. I mean, for the fun of it, maybe I am concerned. I mean, not because it in any way takes away from what I'm trying to do with myself or what I have become with whatever experiences I've had.
Yes, exactly, ma'am. And I think confidence is something which really adds on to your
Yeah.
complexion. I
And
mean,
I
whatever
also feel
you might,
people should give others confidence. That is so important, isn't
yes,
it?
exactly.
I mean,
And ma'am, I think
yes,
in India
that's
it's the
really important.
opposite case, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, but there are many, many people who help you build your confidence. I can say that for myself. It's over the years I have worked with so many people, interacted with so many people, their blessings, their encouragement, and I have come a very long way. I can't deny that.
Yeah, that's
So yes, you
amazing.
have
So I
another
think,
set of
guys,
questions, and here I
yeah,
have
yeah,
not
yeah.
been
So
able
I
to
was
answer a
just
single one.
about
Oh
to
God.
take all of those. Yeah, exactly, ma'am. So I got a comment in the comment section, like in the comment box, that okay, ma'am, you're really fantastic. I really love the way
Thank
you
you.
speak, and that's
Thank you so
fantastic to
much.
have you here. Lots of lots of love from Bangladesh, London again. And okay,
Thank
ma'am, there was
you,
somebody.
Bangladesh. Yeah. I love Bangladesh, because I have, um, I mean, family, you can say, my family friends, but they are like family. So they live in Dhaka. So I love going to Bangladesh. I hope I can go again soon.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
I just wanted to specifically pinpointedly ask a question which was being put repeatedly in the comment section. So if you don't mind,
Yes, please.
there
Yes,
was a
yes, of
person who
course.
was asking, yeah. So ma'am, there was somebody who was asking like, how do you maintain, I mean, such a clean face, with a very good jawline and with no scars. So is there like any secret behind all of that?
See, jawline is genetic. I will give my my mother credit.
There we go. Yes.
So my
Okay,
father is
Kuwait. Okay, I'm so sorry,
Punjabi.
ma'am. Ma'am, I think there's a lot of love from Kuwait. I think I missed it.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, IS Kuwait. Thank you so much. Sending lots of love
Yeah, also
back.
Delhi. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So no, I mean,
So
jawline is.
jawline is genetic.
I think jawline is genetic. Actually, yeah. It's just my mother. My mother is from Goa. My father is Punjabi, and yeah. I mean, I have this jawline. Yes, yes. My mother's
Yes,
family
that
also has
adds on to
Portuguese
the
roots,
beauty.
so I think I just have inherited all that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So guys, I think it's the way how you feel it and the way how you carry it, on your face. Yeah. And ma'am, as I was talking, about this
If you look
confidence
happy, you
thing.
look pretty. I think it's just that.
Yes.
You should ensure
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you
what
should
better
work
than?
towards creating happiness in your own life. It is
Yes.
just that. And of course, it's in the Lord's hands. I mean, finally it's God who decides. But you have to make your conscious effort to allow happiness in your life.
Like, yeah. I mean, ma'am, what better than a
And
smile on
have
your face?
people who create happiness in your life. I think that just changes the quality of your life.
Correct. Wow, that's really fantastic. I mean, the quality of people you have in the vicinity also redefines your success on
Yeah,
also the
I mean, if
way
they bring you happiness,
you.
if the people around you bring you happiness, it's
Yes.
you will look
Yeah.
happier, you will be more productive, you will be more inspired.
Mhm. Yes, exactly, ma'am. Ma'am, could you also just tell the experience, some of your movies? I mean, as you told that you have won, so many awards and achievements and
Not so
accolades,
many, but
and
yeah,
also
okay, one or two here and
what
there,
will
yeah.
people say? Yeah,
Oh
and all of
yes,
that.
that is
Like, could you?
what will people say is a landmark film for me. I mean, I had never imagined I'll be part of a film, which I mean, like in one sentence, they will name my film and it will say Oscar entry in the same sentence. So
Yes.
that I
Mhm.
think has been very, very enriching for me. That experience was very challenging and it was very scary also because the character was very difficult to play. But full credit, full marks to my director, Iram Haq. I think
Amazing.
that woman knows magic. It's just as simple as that. And the way she communicates with her actors, that is remarkable. Like she brought out in me something I would never have known I can be that person. And for
Wow.
those of you who have watched What Will People Say, it's on Netflix. I mean,
Yes.
Najma is just such a toxic person. I mean, a woman who can almost hate her daughter, who can't bear to see that her daughter's happy. That is definitely not who I am. I mean, I sometimes watch the film and I'm like, oh God. I mean, Najma is so easy to hate, you know. So
Yes.
I think
Correct.
it is. I will give credit to Iram for bringing that out in me. There was a lot of aggression. There was a lot of bitterness in that character's personality, and I don't think I have that. So I owe that performance to her. And of course, Adil Hussain, when he is your co-actor, I think your standard automatically rises. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Adil
Yes,
is
ma'am.
amazing. I've done 3 films with him, and I mean, what an honor it has been, really. It's
Exactly. I
like
mean,
doing a master
that's
class. It's very simple. It's a master class. If you work with Adil Hussain, you're doing a master class. Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, the work which you have done is highly immaculate and highly commendable. I mean, the
Okay. I'm
progression of
not
it.
sure about immaculate is a very big word, but yes, I've tried to be as honest as I could be. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, even the films and everything, I mean, into different domains and, has shaped you as a person and,
Yeah.
has made you definitely more confident, than you
Yeah,
were
I think
before.
I'm
So,
very happy and satisfied that I have got different kinds of roles. You see, ab wo muqaddar ki baat hai. That is nasib. That is your good karma. That you get different kind of opportunities. You're not typecast. I mean, what can be greater than
yeah,
that for an actor?
typecasting. Yeah.
So I have been very fortunate. I mean, Angrezi Mein Kehte is completely different. What do people say is completely different. Dear Dad was different. Now recently, Bombay Begums, I mean, which people have watched and have loved and, you know, I mean, so much appreciation has come my way. I had never expected Bombay Begum to do that for me, but it has. And I have realized that, I mean, I should just be very, very thankful because,
Yes, ma'am. That's
I mean, it's
really
beyond
amazing.
what
And
I had imagined. Yeah. So not
yes,
being
yeah. I mean,
typecast has been one of my greatest achievements, I think.
yes. I mean,
I feel
typecasting.
very
Yeah.
thankful because it's very
Yes, ma'am.
prevalent.
Exactly.
It's very, very prevalent. And also, I mean, it is true that, because I have a mixed lineage and I can speak different languages, I don't have a very region specific face. Like, I can very easily look like a Punjaban. I can very easily,
Okay.
you look Bengali, look South Indian. I mean, the
Flexible.
various things are possible with me. But, there could be a lot of people who can transform their look. But to actually get that opportunity, I think I have God to thank for that.
Amazing, ma'am. I mean, you have implicitly have got the ability of flexibility, which is also, I mean, not. I think it's a
Yeah.
rare quality. I mean, not everybody has
Yeah.
it because yeah, getting into
You
different
know,
roles and picking wherever they
it's a director's medium. We must not forget that. So, how well something is written and how well you are controlled by the director is also something that enables you to finally deliver. It's not
Yes,
just, no actor can take full credit. Yes, there are actors who love to apply themselves, but what the writer has written or what the director has directed? I mean, there could be moments when you disagree with the writer or disagree with the director. That is also possible, very much possible. But it is
yes,
somewhere,
yes.
it's a collaboration of energy or trying to tell a story.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. And ma'am, because we are already, I mean, talking about cinema and all of this, I just wanted to know your point, I mean, your viewpoint and on like, what role does cinema play in, in shaping and nourishing the youth in fostering the ideal personality and character?
It plays a role. It plays a big role, particularly in a country like India. I think we can't deny that. Itne jo majnu hai. So in some ways, it's a good thing. In some ways, it's a bad thing. Like I think also Hindi cinema at one level has taught a few things which are not appropriate. Like for example, the whole idea, the whole notion of consent is something which is so it's it has been spoiled by Hindi films. They have spoiled it because लड़की आज नहीं तो कल हाँ कर देगी और नहीं
Yeah.
करेगी तो हम पटा लेंगे. These things are problematic. So the the films have impacted the youth in a bad way too. I mean, you can't deny that. So and of course, this concept कि लड़की की नाव में भी हाँ है. I mean, ये कितनी गलत सोच है. It's just so damn wrong. I mean, at every level. So I think
Exactly.
the films have contributed to a lot of rubbish. At the same time, cinema is the best way to learn. I think the best way to
Yes.
teach your children anything, whether it's ethics, values, cinema is the best thing. I mean, look at Gulzar Saab's films, for example. I mean, you just learn everything through them. So it's the quality of films. I think that is what really matters. And we have
Yes.
amazing filmmakers across India in different languages. So cinema should be encouraged. Like even your
Correct.
aesthetics, just your taste in music, your taste in visuals, your understanding of lighting, everything, your understanding of beauty. It can be cultivated through cinema. So it is. It's about the
Yeah.
choices you make, and then there are these films where "ladki ke haan mein bhi na hai," what not na mein bhi haan hai. So I think
Yes.
it's about the choices that you make. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, ma'am.
So there are a
And
whole
ma'am,
lot of
because
trashy films that you can stay away from, and there are a lot of good films, which especially Indian cinema, I think is very is very refined at in various segments. We have amazing directors, but the point is that we also have to make sure that those directors they make more films. Their films should do well. That is essential.
yes, ma'am. I mean, the role of cinema and the contribution it has done to the society, yeah, is amazing again. And ma'am,
Yeah,
because you're also a sari ambassador, I mean, so I just wanted to know, like, how do
Sari
you
Ambassador.
advocate?
Yes,
Yeah,
I love
how do you
saris. I
advocate the
think.
Indian culture, ma'am? Like the values, being a
See,
sari
I
ambassador.
think I look best in a sari. Apart from that, I think it is we owe it to our culture. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the next generation that we should encourage them to wear saris. And I have a very
Yes,
simple logic in this that, if I buy branded stuff and I go to a mall and I could go crazy because now everything is available in India, it is not going to make a difference to those huge companies. I could be spending lakhs of rupees on my shopping and it won't make a difference to them. But if I
yes,
buy a sari
exactly.
from a weaver, it will change his life.
Brand doesn't
So I
matter,
think
ma'am.
that
Yeah, yeah.
realization is one of the reasons why I try to buy saris usually. Of course, I think
Mhm.
whatever my personality is, I look most dignified in a sari. Every Indian woman looks her best in a sari. At least that's what I think. And yes, and saris are timeless, isn't it? I mean, fashion could be, like it could go it would come and go all the time. It's there could be a pencil skirt which is in vogue, then there could be a mini skirt which is in vogue. I don't even know about skirt fashion, but yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that different kinds of trousers, different kind of jeans, different kind of everything. But a sari is a sari, all said and done. Especially
Of course
traditional
it
weaves, handloom weaves.
is.
Not. I don't mean the very fancy blingy saris which are designer saris and cost a fortune.
Glitter,
I
yeah,
mean
exactly.
saris which are woven by weavers. There's so many films which have been made, there's a film called Kanjivaram. You should watch it.
Sure,
You
ma'am,
must watch it
definitely.
for the performances.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
South Asian film. You
sure,
must
ma'am.
watch.
Yeah, yeah. And also, ma'am, the way how we tie the sari, I think it also
Yeah,
reminds
I
us
mean, in
the
India,
rich culture.
every place, every state has its own sari. I
Yes.
mean, not every state has its style, but there are so many different styles that we have. Like you wear it in a certain way in Gujarat, in different way in Maharashtra, in Bengal, that white sari and the red border, worn in the Bengali style. It just looks so good. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying that everybody should stop wearing other things and they should wear saris, but they should spend some money and some effort wearing saris and keeping their culture alive.
Yes, yes, yeah. I mean, it also reminds us the rich cultural heritage of India as well, and again, then
Yeah,
taking it
it's
as a
amazing.
legacy. Yeah, exactly, ma'am. And ma'am, I just wanted to talk some of the about some of the qualities. I mean, like whatever may be your scale of success, like how
I'm
important,
sorry, I
is it
can't hear
to
you. I think
remain okay.
you'll
Ma'am,
have to
am
say
I
that again.
audible
I'm
now?
sorry, I missed what you were saying. I don't know, I think it's some internet
Okay,
issue.
okay. Is it fine, ma'am, now?
It's not
Hello?
very consistent, but yeah, tell me.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, ma'am, I was just saying that I wanted to talk about some of the qualities. I mean, like whatever may be, the scale of
It's,
success, like how important,
it's getting stuck.
Okay,
I'm
okay. Is it
sorry,
fine,
I
ma'am,
could
now?
not follow because you're freezing.
Okay, okay. Is it fine, ma'am, now?
So,
I
can
think
you
it's
hear
fine.
me? Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
now
yeah.
it's fine. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
you're
fine. Yeah.
audible and visible perfectly on my end. Yeah.
Okay, okay, good. Yes, tell me.
Yes. Yeah. Ma'am, so I was just asking, like, how important, is it to remain poised and equanimous and not to get succumbed, by the vanity of victory?
I mean, being poised, it should come to you naturally, whatever you're doing. I mean, if you are ever angry or if you are ever disappointed, you should express it. There's no point in having a pretense. I mean, I could not even hear your whole question, but what I kind of could hear because you froze. But it's
Okay,
not
no
always
issues.
important to be poised. You have to express what you're feeling. But at the same time, I think we all figure that being calm is being powerful. Losing your mind and yelling and screaming and reacting and hurting others or hurting yourself is not going to really be of much benefit to anyone. So I suppose you focus all your energy on yourself. You figure, you understand, you introspect what works for you, how you want to go about your career, how you want to, for especially for budding actors, I would say, how you want to handle your career. What are the kind of films you want to do? What are the kind of people you want to associate with? I think all this should be thought through. And then you will not have to make an effort to be poised and composed. It will just be natural.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it should be something which just should come out implicitly, as a person. Yeah, and amazing. And
Correct.
ma'am, yeah, ma'am, we have spoken, about your accomplishments, accolades, achievements, and your perspective towards cinema and everything, all the domains you are into. But we are also very intrigued to know about your future plans. I mean, is there like any movie you're acting in already, or like
So
any
yes,
future
I
plans?
have done two films which are awaited soon. One is called The Incomplete Man. It's a it's a fantastic film. I mean, and it's a great character. I can't talk about it because
Okay, no
we
issue.
still haven't released it. But the film is called The Incomplete Man. It is directed by Dheeraj Kotkar. It has a great cast. It has Freddie Daruwala. It has Varina Hussain. It has Tina Singh. It has Sharib Hashmi.
Wow,
Everybody's favorite these
amazing.
days. Yes, and it has Alankrita. So it's a good film, and my character is like I've never. I mean, everybody uses this line actually that I've never done something like this before, but this is really something I have never done before. It was again like Najma from what people say. This was completely out of my comfort zone, but it was very exciting to play this part. And yeah, so hopefully you're going to see that this year. Then there's
Sure,
another
ma'am.
film
We are
called,
definitely waiting, to
yeah,
have a look
there
on
was
it.
an independent film called Masum Sawal also, which I have done, which is an issue-based film. But it's a good film. It's a good script. Now I'm hoping that I've not seen the film as yet, but I'm hopeful that it'll turn out to be good and it'll be
Yes, ma'am.
you all will
Amazing.
like it.
We, yeah, we would definitely love to see you on screen, and we're
Yeah.
definitely waiting,
So
to
there are
witness.
4 or 5 projects which I am working on currently. Like when I say working on, shooting is supposed to start. I mean, things have been finalized, and but again, so patience. Hopefully, it'll all be ready by the end of the year, and you all will see a lot of good work.
Yes, ma'am. All the very best, I mean, for your future
Thank
endeavors
you.
and all of
Thank you so much.
from behalf of all the participants and all of the people. Yeah. And
Thank you
ma'am,
very much, all of you.
yes, ma'am. And ma'am, we had really such a fantastic conversation today. I mean,
It was
talking
lovely
everything,
talking to you.
about yeah, everything. I mean, about
It
your
was
life
good fun.
journey, and
Thank
then
you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for
like,
having this conversation. All
yes,
the
ma'am.
best to
Ma'am,
all of you.
finally, yes, ma'am. Finally, would you love to give any advice on a closing note before you leave?
I've given everybody so much advice today. They'll be bored now.
Okay, no issues, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. I mean, really,
No,
it
but
was
I just wish
amazing.
everybody the best and enjoy what you do. I mean, enjoy each day. Make every day meaningful and also make it fun. It's, time doesn't come back. So also have a lot of fun along the way.
Sure, ma'am. Definitely. Thank you so much. It was really amazing to have you here. I mean,
It
talking
was
everything
my
about your
delight.
life.
My delight.
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
being here.
you. All right. Take care. Bye. God
Thank
bless.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was Ma'am joining us today, guys. It was really fantastic, today to talk with Ekavali Kanna Ma'am. We had such a fantastic conversation. I mean, the initial stages of hurdles, adversities, and challenges, I mean, she faced in the initial stages, and then talking all about the cinema career, as an actress, as a, like a chef, I mean, because she was a clandestine chef as well. So, unraveling some of the secrets, also tips and tricks for all the people who would love to get into acting field, and all the things which would definitely break the unknown barriers which we think, in our life. So we have broken some of the barriers which we thought, in the mind, and I think it's ultimately your thought, in the brain. So you just have to get rid of the all the negative influences in the vicinity. And I think it was such a rejuvenating and a replenishing conversation, which was extremely insightful with a lot of information coming on board. So I think all of you had such a fantastic conversation today on a very ending note. It was a lovely Sunday. It's really such a great way to end the Sunday. And we really had an amazing conversation today. And today's talk show, was brought to you by the student organization DragCon under the aegis of Division of Student Welfare, lovely professional university. And I hope everybody enjoyed it a lot. And thank you so very much, all the audience, for your participation in the comment section. I really acknowledge that. And thank you so much, guys. So I'm Chanda Harshita, host for this evening, officially signing off. Thank you.